The pickup truck, America's vehicle of choice since 1981, when the Ford F-150 became the best-selling vehicle in the country, and has been ever since. It's hard to say something new about the pickup. There's only so many ways you can use self-reliance, practicality, and freedom in a sentence. But I'll try. Just because we Americans love trucks, does that mean we really need them? I'm not so sure. Today we're going to break down what a truck does, the different types of pickups there are, and why people buy them. Everything from the return of the compact truck to super trucks that are as quick as supercars from 15 years ago. How did we go from this
My boy trucking me on the road again
to this to this and this and this? Let's go trucking.
Thanks to Raycon for sponsoring today's video. Dang it! I'd like to work out with my earbuds, but they fall out of my thick, beautiful ears. I guess I gotta duct tape them again. It's the only way I can actually do this. Like this.
Stop right there, donut boy! Don't put yourself in a sticky audio situation. Try using these.
Ooh, Raycon everyday earbuds.
Yeah! With an improved rubber oil look and comfortable feel, the Raycon everyday earbuds are optimized for the perfect in-ear fit. They'll stay in even when you shake your head.
Oh yeah, these feel great.
I said even when you shake your head. Shake your head, Jeremiah. Yeah, that's right. Enjoy your tunes with 8 hours of playtime and 32 hours of battery life. You can even call your old dad with its built-in mic. And they sound just as good as premium audio brands, but only cost half the price.
Perfect. I love wearing them while I'm out for a run. And did you say half the price?
I said keep shaking. Shake it. Shake that noggin like a guitar with a pick stuck inside of it. There you go. Yeah. Show the people how good they were. Plus, Raycon offers 45 days of happiness guarantee. So click the link in the description or go to buyraycon.com/donut to unlock exclusive deals up to 20% off your Raycon order. And now back to the video about the car.
The story of the pickup truck really begins with the Model T, which wasn't really a truck at all. At the time of its release in 1908, rural farming families made up a large portion of the US population. The Model T's low price meant that these families could afford a family vehicle. Many farmers constructed cargo baskets for their Model Ts so they could use their new jalopies on the farm. It was a pretty common practice to buy a T and either build a bed yourself or take it to your local coach builder. These Frankensteins were the first pickups, vehicles modified out of necessity for the express purpose of work. Henry Ford and his company saw that there was a demand for a more utility-focused Model T. Henry himself had a 1912 Model T with a custom cargo box. He had one of these Frankensteins. So in 1925, Ford debuted the Model T pickup, the first production pickup truck. Show trucks, small crawlers, squatted rigs, straight pipe Duramaxes, they can all be traced back to this little guy right here, whose only focus was helping Old Man Jenkins haul rhubarb.
Mrs. K.
With such a practical vehicle now available straight from the factory, popularity of the pickup truck exploded like elephant toothpaste in a Mark Rober video. A pickup could be seen on practically every farm in the US. Even early on, the truck was seen as a symbol of work, alongside the tractor and the plow. But back then, Americans had a very different relationship with the pickup than we do today. Early trucks were very Spartan by comparison. Hand crank windows were likely your only luxury. After all, these were work vehicles. A Packard pickup packed with pickled peppers, parked precariously on a precipice. It was only in the 1950s when that began to change. After World War II, American GIs and their new families needed affordable places to live because city life was pretty expensive. Sounds familiar. The rapid development of suburbs meant that these families could have their own houses and land all to themselves. And with a place to call your own comes a sense of self-reliance. Who cares if your neighbor's house looks just like yours? This 2-bedroom, 1-bath is your homestead, a lone outpost in the frontier of boulevards and manicured trees. You need a vehicle that can help you get stuff done. You, sir, need a truck. With more and more suburban buyers buying pickups off the lot, manufacturers started catering to them. You didn't just get windows you could roll down, you got a radio, comfier seats, two-tone paint, and chrome. None of this stuff was necessary from a practicality standpoint, but it made trucks fit in with the picket fences and perfect lawns of suburbia. Now that's not to say that farmers and rural buyers didn't appreciate these improvements. After all, a radio is pretty sweet. But it marks the start of a very important trend in truck history. People buying them who might not have really needed them, but felt like they had to.
They're convenient and comfortable, too. Might as well work in comfort.
Yeah.
With that concise history lesson out of the way, let's talk about the American truck market as it stands today. The truck market has exploded with more subcategories than metal music. Fortunately though, it's a lot more tolerable to talk about trucks than metal. Guys, what's with all the— I'm really tired of breaking up fights between technical death metal fans and progressive sludge crust guys. It's just really annoying and you guys smell weird. So let's talk about 5 truck categories. The first is a relatively new category, except it's not really. The compact truck. You see, kids, trucks today are really big. According to CarIndependent.com, the average full-size or half-ton truck is 79 inches wide and 75 inches tall. Since 2001, the Ford F-150 has gained up to 3 inches in height, depending on the drivetrain. My point is, trucks just keep on getting bigger. But here's the thing, you used to be able to buy a small truck, and there are a lot of them. Datsun, Mazda, Chevy, Ford, these companies all offered compact trucks. They were pretty basic, they weren't like bigger pickups, and these weren't family cars. But they were perfect for people who needed to carry stuff around town. The compact truck just got it done. But then they all but disappeared. Ford stopped building the Ranger in 2011. Around that time, demand for compact trucks had dried out. The Great Recession put a big dent in sales, and people who bought pickups just decided to get the bigger F-150. The Ranger did end up coming back, and we'll get to that in a second. But the compact truck has been gone for most of the last decade, until this year. Surprisingly, Hyundai struck first with the Santa Cruz, an all-wheel drive pickup with a bed a little longer than 4 feet. Now you might say that the Santa Cruz is bigger than the old Ranger, and you're correct, but it's not by much. Plus, it can seat 5 people. You might also say, no one's gonna buy a Hyundai pickup truck based on crossover, and that's where you're wrong. According to thedrive.com, the Santa Cruz spends an average of 8 days on a dealer's lot, making it the fastest selling vehicle in America right now, and that's very impressive. And I think that's a canary in the coal mine for automakers, but in a good way. Like, the canary is fat and thriving. It very likely says that there's a demand for a return to the compact pickup. That's good news for Ford, who unveiled the Maverick compact truck a few months ago. We actually talked about it at length a few episodes ago. But I think trucks like the Maverick and Santa Cruz are gonna open up a new market: city trucks. I live in LA. Parking can be really annoying and would be something I take into consideration when buying a new car. But if a truck is just as easy to park, that makes my decision a little easier. I'm really looking forward to seeing how these trucks do in the long term and how it changes the market in the coming years. It's gonna be really interesting to watch. The next category of truck is my favorite, the midsize truck. What's interesting about this segment is that it's pretty much been uncontested for the last 10 years or so. The truck that set the pace for the midsize category is one you've seen a lot on this channel, the Toyota Tacoma. Tacomas are great because as long as you have 4-wheel drive and a locking rear differential, you can take them pretty much anywhere, and taco owners do. The capability and longevity of this Toyota midsize truck has spawned a cult following, one that other automakers desperately want to replicate. In 2018, Ford brought back the Ranger, but this time as a midsize truck, not a little baby truck. Chevy actually beat Ford to the punch a year earlier with the Colorado. The crazy thing was, both trucks had been around for years overseas, but were resurrected for the American market to compete directly with the Tacoma. I've gotten this out a few times where it's like, are you considering a Toyota Tacoma?
You better check out the Ford Ranger.
And then it lists all this stuff. So like, that's who they're going after. It was immediately apparent that they were going after the outdoorsy types, with Ford and Chevy offering packages to compete with the Tacoma's TRD off-road trim. Today, Ford offers the Ranger with the Tremor off-road package, very cool name, and Chevy offers the Colorado Bison ZR2, which can be had with a diesel engine at a price of like $55,000. It's a lot, but it's also very cool. If I was to buy a truck, it would probably be from this segment. From rock crawling to hauling furniture, they've got a lot of range. The most popular truck in the nation is the full-size pickup. Think Ram 1500, Chevy 1500, and Ford F-150. the best-selling vehicle in the nation. Please note, I didn't say best-selling truck, I said best-selling vehicle. The full-size segment has come a long way since Ford introduced the F-100 in 1948. Remember how manufacturers started making trucks comfier in the 50s to appeal to suburban buyers? Well, that didn't slow down. 1973 was a huge year for the full-size truck, as manufacturers raced to give truck owners more space in the cab. Dodge introduced the very first extended cab, while International Harvester debuted their new 4-door crew cab that year. Adding 2 doors might be the most important innovation in truck history behind 4-wheel drive. It completed the pickup's transformation from essential farm tool to family vehicle. It would take a while, as evolution does, but these 2 extra doors would eventually lead to the demise of the sedan in this country. I know that's a bit of a hot take there, but I stand by it. It's not really a hot take, that's pretty mild, like Taco Bell mild sauce.
It's hot for Nolan.
It's not, I like spicy food, Joe.
I'm gonna need some milk with this hot milk.
Fast forward to today. According to this excellent article by Brett Burke for TheDrive.com, trucks now make up 7 of 10 vehicle sales in the US. 7 of 10. And as we already mentioned, a majority of them are full size. The article is mostly focused on a study by consulting firm Strategic Vision, cataloging the habits of truck owners. And what this study found shocked me, or told me what I already know. Sorry, I'm in YouTube mode. Everybody's got a truck, but does that mean that everybody uses their truck like it should be? The answer is an unsurprising no. Quote, 75% of truck owners use their truck for towing 1 time a year or less. Nearly 70% of truck owners go off-road 1 time a year or less. And a full 35% of truck owners use their truck for hauling once a year or less. You know, we make fun of Jeep owners a lot for not taking their Jeeps off-road. Why do truck owners get a pass? Makes me wonder how many of those millions of full-sized pickups being sold every year could have been a sedan, or even a crossover, or at least a smaller truck. Take up less space, you know what I'm saying? Poised above the full-size pickup is the heavy-duty truck. These are your diesels, your dualies, your haulers. If you're someone who truly needs to get stuff done, you probably have a heavy-duty truck. Or you just got it on huge wheels with a straight pipe exhaust and hang out at the mall. A 2015 study by the Bureau of Transportation Statistics found that diesel trucks are typically driven further than any other vehicle class, and they attribute that to the tendency of heavy-duty trucks to be used in long hauls. I think heavy-duty trucks are today's version of the early pickups, because so many farmers still use them in a strictly utilitarian way compared to the rest of the modern trucks we talked about. I don't have much else to say about these trucks, so let's move on to the reason you clicked on this video. One last class of pickup truck, the logical conclusion, the Supertruck. What happens when you take a full-size pickup truck, give it a 6.2-liter V8, and name it after a big dinosaur? You get the 707 horsepower Ram TRX. But what if you took that truck, gave it an even bigger supercharger, even bigger tires, and named it after one of the best mammals of the Pleistocene epoch? You get the Hennessy Mammoth 1000. It's called 1000 because it has 1,012 horsepower. It's the world's most powerful pickup. This is the problem with this truck. Like, this is, I know it could do super easy, but I'm paralyzed with fear of scratching it.
She really is a pavement princess.
Yeah, that's too easy. Yeah, time to go 0 to 60 up the hill.
Hennessy isn't the only company building outrageously powered pickup trucks. Shelby's got their Super Snake, Roush has a few models based on the F-150, but the Mammoth 1000 is the most ridiculous super truck of them all. Except for maybe the Mercedes G63 6x6, because it's got 6 wheels, come on. Hennessy will build you a 6-wheeled Raptor if that's your thing. So who is a super truck for? Well, they're all expensive and hand-built, so they're not exactly meant to be your only truck. The Mammoth also gets 8 miles per gallon highway, so it's not the most economical. It's also really big, kind of hard to maneuver around. Super trucks are for people who have supercar money, but want something a little different. They probably already have a supercar in their garage. What's cooler than a Lamborghini? How about a Lamborghini for the dirt? And I know Lamborghini did that already. They had the Lambo many years ago, but that was less than half the horsepower of the Mammoth. The Supertruck's only purpose is to take the idea of the pickup truck to the absolute extreme. The Mammoth is in many ways comical. The tires are 37 inches tall. The hood is taller than my coworker Blair. Clown Core could probably film a video in the cabin, it's so big. But that's what makes this thing cool to Hennessy's customers. You know what? I wish I could be one of their customers. They let us borrow this thing. I had a lot of fun. A couple close calls, but a lot of fun. But what's even crazier to think about is that sometime very soon, you won't need to go to a boutique hot rod shop like Hennessy or Shelby to get a truck that performs like a supercar. The Ford Lightning EV pickup does 0 to 60 in 5.5 seconds, and I'm sure they'll make a faster one. The Rivian R1T is another EV truck that can do 0 to 60 in 3 seconds. I can't wait to see what companies like Hennessy will do to these trucks, alongside the gas burners they'll obviously keep building. I think just with the popularity of off-roading and trucks building in the past few years, we're gonna see even crazier stuff to come.
Well, good house. This is the dumbest build. What's the difference? When you get there, that's what we're gonna have to figure out.
Just another day at the office.
Thank you very much for watching Wheelhouse. Big thank you to Mike Hartley and John Hennessy for letting us borrow this amazing truck. I'm still thinking about it. It's very fast. I am not equipped to drive it. It was cool. We got a lot of cool merch designs on our shop right now at donutmedia.com. We're working with some people who've worked with some really awesome brands, and I think it shows. These shirts are awesome, so check those out. Follow Donut on all social media at Donut Media. Follow me at Nolan J. Sykes. Be kind. Check your blind spot. I'll see you next time.